What's up, CTA family? Welcome to the Compete Mentality Podcast. The Compete Mentality Podcast exists to motivate, educate, and inspire you guys to compete. Our definition of competing is doing what God calls you to do, even when it's hard. On the podcast today, we have the man, the myth, the legend, GM of CTA and trainer Lewis Jackson, Purdue's all-time winningest point guard. We're here today to chop it up, all things hoops, Boilermaker basketball, and improving your mindset. So hold on. I want to dive in first, Lou, to recapping the IU game. We put a preview out last week. Just give me your initial thoughts on the game.
Went as I expected. Kind of a little bit of first half. I think it was a little bit more than I expected. We talked about that IU was going to come out and they were going to throw a punch, which we all expected that they were going to throw a punch, and it was going to be a difficult game. It was very interesting just to see, the way they took off in that first half, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought the game was over with, done deal.
Yep.
And obviously playing for Coach Parent, you kind of know what that locker room talk is going to be like. You know what practices are like. You know the mentality of what's been said in that locker room. So to come out in that second half and to see that fight and to see the way guys responded, even though we lost, it was kind of, you don't want no moral wins, especially against IU. But for me, it let me know how mentally strong and just how competitive this team was, because a lot of teams would have easily folded, especially in an environment like that.
There was a lot of college basketball analysts tweeting and posting on social media how they were actually walked away from that game, even though Purdue lost, more impressed with Purdue growing in their mindset as far as going into the NCAA tournament coming up here because of that, exactly what you just said.
Definitely. Think about, like we said, we throw records out the window. We talked about that. You went to the game, obviously, and for people that's never experienced that atmosphere, it's a tough environment. You tip your hat off to our freshmen. That was their first time down there in Bloomington, so just to even get that, it's tough. But I was highly impressed. I walked away, it's like, we're fine.
That was Courtney and I's first time in Assembly Hall as fans. We sat with some of the Purdue families and in our assemblies in 3 levels.
Yeah.
And we got the second level straight to the top. So that's what they did for their visiting team.
No doubt.
And we were surrounded by a sea of red. I will say this. Much respect for the environment. It was an unbelievable environment. Sold out. We stood the entire game. Stood the entire game to see the game. I will say, I felt like I was at war. I almost felt like a little violated. Just what we had to go through. And the things that we heard, it was PG-13 rated R type stuff. So it was an interesting environment for sure. This year was the first year at Assembly Hall that they could sell alcohol, and so it was a very interesting crowd in terms of that as well. I want to talk about the first half. Our guy Mason Gillis had a hard foul in the first half. Just tell me your initial thoughts on that play.
Clean foul. It's emotional. It's the emotion of the game. A lot of those guys, being Indiana guys, they grow with each other. They know each other. You've already kind of got it in your mind, like, hey, this game means so much more to the state. So just the moment is intense, but it's a clean foul. You kind of expect the guys from the other side to do that. I don't know if you remember, it's my junior year. Me and Jeremiah Rivers.
Yes.
We had a scuffle in a sense, in the same magnitude a little bit, but that also that's a statement that we're here. We're not backing down. You're standing up for your guys, but overall, the play was clean.
Yes.
Just guys were being a little bit competitive and wanted to just, kind of set the tone, so it wasn't a bad foul at all.
So you hoopers, I want you to take note of that. I too agree it was a clean foul. The last thing you want in that is for them to make the bucket.
Absolutely.
You can't have that in that moment. You cannot have them make the bucket, get an and one, dig yourself in a deeper hole. So I thought he was straight up and down, and then he came down and fouling, but it wasn't a straight line foul where he came and tackled him or anything like that. It was a basketball play. Made a play on the ball.
Just the crowd. Once you're at the crowd, yell like that, you know what I mean? First thing people do, bang, bang. It looks bad or what it thinks, but being at home watching it on TV, and obviously people can go back and you replay it, and you're like, it's a clean foul.
Yep.
Let the guys play. It's just a little bit more heated. If that's any other Big Ten game, it's not as emotional in that moment, but that's just part of the rivalry.
Purdue Nation is falling in love with this team because of just the type of guys they are. They're staying together, they're for each other, they're unselfish. After the game, a reporter kind of cornered Braden Smith a little bit, asking him about the play where he went baseline, got in the air, got stuck, which is a whole other topic of conversation we could have. Threw the ball to the corner, had to throw the ball to the corner and turn the ball over. And Zach, the reporter was really kind of put him in a pickle, like he really blew that. And Zach grabbed the microphone, said, "Hey, man, we win as a team, we lose as a team, and we have I didn't come ready to play. You know, it was a collective effort.
Yeah.
This loss isn't blamed on one player, one guy." Tell me your thoughts on Zach Edey as a leader taking over the microphone in that moment.
Phenomenal leader. I mean, that's what you do. You stand up for your guys. Because even in that moment, it's easy for a lot of other guys to say, well, I did my part. And you just let somebody just sit there in the fire. And for me, you hate to see that turnover, but in my mind, as soon as that ball turns it over, I said, that's going to make Braden Smith even a better point guard. Because you live with those mistakes. But for Zach Edey to take the microphone in that moment, and just to stand up for his guys, it lets you know, like you said, as a collective, where they stand together, that hey, it's not just one play. And I think a lot of people, we always point to the last play of the game, but you always hear coaches tell kids, hey, this play back with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, this play back here, if we would have came out with more energy, things could be different. So to hear a player of Zach Edey's level express that early is a big example for the rest of the kids, and just it lets you know that they're taking every minute of the game serious, and it's not just one play that loses the game for them.
Absolutely. They come back to Mackey here in a few weeks. What's your prediction? IU coming back to Mackey?
Oh man, I mean, it's gonna be a great game. I think we win that game. Home court advantage is just something different. It's hard to win on the road down at Bloomington, but it is extremely hard to win in Mackey Arena. And knowing that they beat us already, just both teams are gonna be fired up. But I know we're gonna come out with so much more intensity, so I'm predicting a win.
Sometimes you got to go through the hard times to level up your mindset, to grow as an individual. I think we're gonna learn more from that loss. And losing there, I think it's going to be preventative down the road in the NCAA tournament. Going into a hostile environment like that and learning from that experience, no doubt.
Absolutely. Experience is the best teacher. I mean, you always hear coaches say, when you win, sometimes you don't learn as much. But when you lose, you feel things a little bit different. Some of those mistakes you may have got away with in the win, you kind of brush it off. But when you lose, all those mistakes and just that energy, the things you think about it more, you dwell on what you could have did better to get that win. So it's going to do nothing but propel us for the NCAA tournament and the Big Ten tournament as well.
Absolutely. Talking about this IU loss reminds me of the IU loss your senior year at home. Zeller, Oladipo, Holes, Sheehy. We lost. Fun fact, yours truly, JD, was the visiting team host. Game's over. I sprint back to go unlock the locker room for Indiana, and Purdue Pete is following the team, talking a little bit reckless to the team. Tom Crean looks at me like, hey man, dude, I'm in a suit. So he's like, hey man, do something about this. And I was just like, I can't do nothing about this, man. I'm out of here. I remember so that was Saturday night.
Yes.
The next, we had the day off the next day, according to the schedule.
Yeah.
The next morning, I think me and another manager, we were the only ones there, and Paint was like, get the scoreboard, put 22 up on the scoreboard, and get those fingers. You're just gonna press start and stop, JD.
Yeah.
So, how could you forget that practice? Tell us a little bit about that practice the next day.
I remember that practice like yesterday. Like you just knew it. You just felt the intensity the moment you walked in. Man, practice was tough. You turn the ball over, you get on the line and run. At one point, you finally got frustrated enough. Hey, you're not playing hard enough. Get out.
Yep.
You're not playing hard. Get out. You didn't jump to the ball. Get out. Like the intensity just. You felt it. Like that was a practice I will never forget. And that kind of puts you in a mind state of like you just don't want to lose IU. You don't want to lose IU because practice was probably just as hard as the game the next day, if not harder.
I would agree 100% with that. I believe Coach found a way to kick
everybody out.
Everybody got kicked out.
He even kicked me and Rob out. We actually set out that day because we was hurt.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Everybody got kicked out.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Nobody survived.
I actually forgot about that. That's funny. Lou, we got Iowa tonight, and then we have Northwestern coming up this weekend at Northwestern, which is always tough place to play. Just talk about playing talk about Iowa, what you think, prediction for tonight, then Northwestern here this weekend.
I think tonight against Iowa, we come out with that intensity. You know what I mean? You're just going off a loss already. You know kind of what practice is like. You know the intensity. Guys want to get back and just get a win on the board and just continue to show why they're number one. Iowa's a good team. They've been playing well. I think they got the second most quad one win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it'd be a good matchup. Fred McCaffrey, good coach. They're going to play good basketball, but I just feel like we're going to come out, dominate, play well. Just guys want to have that confidence, want to get that swagger going. So I think we're going to win by 8-10, at least at that game. And then going to Northwestern is kind of like a trap game.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about Northwestern. I don't know what it is, but you go up there and it's always a battle. Like it doesn't matter who's coaching there, but it's something about Northwestern where you have to go up there prepared to win because those guys are going to compete.
Yes. It's a smaller gymnasium. It's a different type of atmosphere. Sometimes we're going to get everybody's best shot being number one, too. Sometimes I've been there when the game is, there's a big crowd, then there's just times where it's not.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting as far as that vibe. Lou, we're getting ready to transition here into March. Switching subjects here to basketball training. We have LewJack March Madness School coming up. Last year it was lit. This barn in here was full of good vibes and training. People got better, competed. I'll never forget popping in the last night. Man, it was like the players didn't want to leave. We took a group picture over here, and people were hugging and dapping up, and just from the camaraderie that we developed over the month together. Lou, we got a new and improved schedule. We got a mindset training. We got you're gonna do film breakdown with the players. We got live situations. We got skill work, and of course some live playing competitions. Tell our players and parents listening to this podcast what to expect in LewJack March Madness School.
What to expect from LewJack March Madness School? We're coming to get better, and we're also going to build a family environment here. So when you come here, not only are we concerned about your skill work on the court getting better, we want to focus on your mind. We're going to have conversations. I'm concerned with each player, who they are, to help them grow. Just trying to build a relationship with them. So it's more taken away than the game, just bringing the community together. So we're going to get better. I'm going to ask people to compete. I'm going to push you. I'm going to challenge you, but it's good vibes. out of here. Like you said, like you may come in here, you may get a little country music going on, might have a little rap music going on, but it's just a good feeling. We just want to make a family environment. I want to help all the kids get better to their potential.
I think that's one of your greatest strengths as a trainer. We work hard, we compete, we gotta have fun doing it.
Gotta have fun.
Gotta have fun doing it. So, especially when it's your passion. We see a lot of kids coming here tight, stressed from life, from hooping. But man, you gotta go out there and enjoy it. You can't hesitate. If you think about it, when you're on the court, anytime you hesitate on a shot, you're gonna miss.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every time. So you gotta come in here with ready to work, ready to have fun, and you're gonna get the most out of it. Lew, you just worked out one of our guys, one of our pro guys, Evan Maxwell. He's getting ready to go over to Lithuania. He just signed a contract. Congrats, Big Easy, on that. Tell us about your work with Evan and just who Evan is as a player.
Evan's a phenomenal person, first and foremost. Like he's our mindset coach too. So just talking to him, picking his brain, we challenge each other, even that just as friends. And then on the court, he wants it. You know what I mean? Like even if he's a big guy, he knows where his position is, what he needs to do to get better. But he's willing to challenge himself with guard work, trying to get better shooting the 3-ball, which he's always improved. But he always wants more. So the best thing for me is when we're working, I'm like, big fella, you done well. You got some more, throw it at me. And he's willing to continue to get better each and every day. He wants to get better, and I think that's the best part about Evan Maxwell.